Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to the Spotlight. Today on the Spotlight, we are here to talk about the lockdown. Recently, there has been an outrage, an outpouring of pandemic all over the world, the coronavirus, the COVID, also known as the COVID-19. It's been ravaging all our countries, our lands. The Mother Earth is burning, angry, and all of that. So now, to curtail this pandemic, to curtail this monster, our government, our caretakers have decided to keep us locked up or locked in their house for a while, just so that this shall pass. Because we are supposed to take preventive measures, wash our hands, maintain hygiene, and all of that. But this is not working because we are human and it's not so easy for us to maintain social distancing. So our government has decided to lock us down. Today I have with me on the show, Mr. Femi Oshin, to speak to us about lockdown. The lockdown, everything about the lockdown. Stay tuned. Okay, so Mr. Femi Oshin, you're welcome to the show.
My pleasure.
Can you please say hello to everyone and introduce yourself to us?
Hello, everyone. We are locked down, but we're still alive.
Okay, so we're locked down, but we're not shut down.
Yes.
Okay, so sir, can you please tell me, what the lockdown means to you? Like, what exactly does it say to you?
What the lockdown means to me is a non-proactive response out of fear. Those who know me would know that I'm not a fan of lockdown, especially as it affects Africa and as it affects South Africa where I live in. I look at it and I concluded that Africa has adopted measures that were more suitable for European countries where the pandemic has hit them much more, where there were more infections, where there were more fatalities, and it came to us and we adopted that policy, not minding the peculiarity of our society, not minding the peculiarity of our infrastructure, not minding the peculiarity of our psycho-social makeup as a people, not minding the fact that Africa thrives on 89% of informal economy. And you locking down, comparing yourself with nations who thrive on more than 50% of corporate economy. Over 80% of Africans live from hand to mouth day to day.
That's true.
Then we also decided to lock down, declare national disaster, national emergency. In South Africa, not a single person has even died. We decided to lock down without adequately analyzing and interpreting essential services and knowing who should go out, who should not go out. And the high point of the reason we locked down is to curb the spread. And as we see it, nobody can actually authoritatively say that it has worked. So people actually, because where we are at now, we are saying, no, we are going to ease it. We are going to relax it. To what end? Is it working? Come and tell us. Is the curve, has it flattened? Is it increasing? So that is why I said, for me as a person, I would say I am still standing for using peculiar approach that is workable in your environment to curb the spread of COVID-19 as opposed to, now let me quickly say this before you go again, World Bank just advised Africa against copying policies, European policies that may not be very suitable. So I'm looking at a lockdown that will curb COVID-19 that would give us an economic woe that will not come out of in 20 years. In South Africa, we are locking down because of coronavirus. Meanwhile, 110 people are killed through rape daily. We have never locked down. I have never seen Africa taking anything serious amongst every other problem that is on the continent. Coronavirus, rape in South Africa kills more than coronavirus. We have never approached it like this. Women, gender-based violence is stronger than coronavirus. It's killing more. We have never approached it like this. So that's where I came from. I think because we know it's something that spreads through contact. So it gives us too much fear. Then we shut. I would say we technically shut down.
Technically. Okay, so come to think of it, sir, don't you think that I understand that the World Health Organization, the World Bank, everybody is actually trying to advise Africa on what to do. But don't you think that it's actually a way of covering up our own tracks of a very weak healthcare system?
Okay. Thank you for that. I love what you said. I think COVID-19 exposed a lot of world health system, and I'll give you 2 examples. UK. In the last 10 years, UK has spent billions of pounds on anti-terrorism, not foreseeing a pandemic. So when the pandemic hit, even the national health system, NHS in UK, could not cope. In America, so lockdown was a way of throwing the problem back at the people, because there will be too much people at the government hospitals and they're not going to be able to take care of us. Now, if lockdown can expose the inadequacies of the health system in Western nations, how much more Africa? So it is even easy in Africa for government to tell us to lock down, because even when we didn't lock down, our healthcare system cannot cater to us when we didn't have COVID-19. So that is why I know that I think it's a global wake-up call for the world to realize that there could be the only reason the nations are locking down is because nobody prepared for this. America did not prepare. UK did not. No country. America has spent billions and billions and billions on terrorism and counter-terrorism. That's why it affects us this much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. One final question. I wanted to ask you, now that there is lockdown, especially here in Africa, where things are always very slow to pick up, businesses are shut down, offices are down, almost everything is closed. Like you said, maybe we're technically shut down. So what do you think can be done, as the post-COVID-19? What do you think can be done? What advice do you have for entrepreneurs, both large scale and small scale?
Okay, my advice may sound a bit harsh, but it's a reality. I once shared with a friend. I said, in South Africa, we love holidays. We must go and reconcile that there are some holidays you must not take in future. Because now we are sitting at home for like 5-6 weeks, and you don't come and give us longer. The holidays should be now optional to recover. I'm being honest with you. That is the first post-COVID-19 advice. The second post-COVID-19 advice is people who are working should do a lot of more of insurance. This thing exposed savings. People didn't save. Some people, 1 week into lockdown, people are already crying. Nobody had a cent. People didn't have money. It teaches people who are doing business, don't spend all what you have, save for emergency. Then another thing that I would advise for those who are doing business post-COVID-19 is they must not rush. Because after this, people are going to rush to want to do a whole lot of things in the name of, I want to quickly recover. We must know that what hit us was big. Recovery must be gradual. In areas where you don't need to sack, please don't sack. Because in the course of trying to do, a boss is coming back angry, and he has 12 staff, he's just telling 9 to go. So we must apply a bit of measure and trust God, and trust that we would be able to go through it. Our recovery is gradual. It's not going to be, it must not be a rush.
Okay. So, one more question. I'm sorry, but what do you think the government should do during this season of lockdown? Like we said, we keep complaining. People are hungry, no food, no money. In terms of palliatives, what that is supposed to? Do you think they are doing enough? Do you think they should do more? Do you think they should stop it?
I wasn't expecting much. And I tell everybody the truth. Like, they're complaining in Nigeria, the videos are going viral. Look at what they gave us in the UK. You know your system in Nigeria is bad. Even when there was no lockdown, the government was not working. You mustn't expect too much. But however, what the government must do, I am pro the vulnerable. I am pro the poorest of the poorest. The government must not make the mistake to concentrate only on how big businesses are going to recover. They must look to those vulnerable people, the poorest of the poor. There must be a clear recovery policy, even post-lockdown palliative measure. Because you feed them, you have been able to give people rice and oil throughout this time. Some people are going to lose their jobs. So in South Africa, I think it's not UIF, there is an insurance fund. There is a whole lot of insurance policies that even some people who are working are not ignorant about, that government need to make them aware of other benefits and opportunities that are available that they can use to survive post-lockdown.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, sir.
You're welcome.
To you, my dear listeners, thank you for listening, and I hope you stay safe. I hope that the government does at least more to help us to safeguard our lives, and our sanity after this lockdown. And we pray that this pandemic ends soon, and we pray for those who have gone with it that they may rest in peace. Thank you very much for joining us. Till we meet again next time.